Record back on the video. Got some more Nick Fuentes exclusive for you guys today. First clip I got for you guys is Nick explaining why we have to get rid of Trump and we just gotta move on. You know, like I said in the last two videos, you guys seen, all the stuff coming out about Trump. You know, even MTG, Majority Taylor Greene. You know, he stopped fucking with her because she's not pro-Israel. You know. So Nick goes on about that, and then other clips I got for you guys is Nick talking about how he thinks he might be censored again. You know, I mean, if they buy X, if Elon eventually gives up X, and they sell it, who knows? I mean, that's the only platform at this point that Nick has to push his stuff besides Rumble. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy. All I ask, if you guys like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the video. It helps me out, helps the channel out. Nick's live Monday through Friday on Rumble, and I'll let Nick do the talking, and you guys enjoy it.
And Trump broke down the door. And if he only did that, then that was a victory by itself. But as it has dragged on, it is transformed from we don't have high expectations to now it is a liability. That's why I said it's maybe perhaps better if Trump just sunsets, because there's nothing new and dynamic. And as a matter of fact, he's betrayed his core principles. It doesn't mean that it was a mistake. It doesn't mean that Trump wasn't worth supporting at one time. It doesn't mean that Trump wasn't good on net. I think he was at a certain time. A necessary stage. But like a booster rocket, we now have to discard that first stage and advance to the next stage, which is a more explicit, yes, a more right-wing, a more radical version, which I would call America First. You go from MAGA to America First. Step one, step two. You go from sort of like a vague 1990s liberalism that says, it's a cult of personality. Through personal loyalty to Trump, we're going to withstand the high pressure media attacks, political attacks. We're going to see the system's corrupt. We're going to destroy the system's legitimacy and their credibility and the rest of it. Prove that it's possible, show ourselves our own power, change the rules, do all these things, warm people up, move the Overton window to the right, change the GOP. Then we move on to America First. And now we say, well, why are we against mass migration? Because this country has an identity. Why are we against foreign wars? Because we have them, because we're under the control of a foreign lobby. We have a corruption problem. Who isn't putting America first in trade negotiations? Who isn't putting America first in war? And why? Because of the corruption of the money system. The money system has to give way to national power. We need a truly populist tyrant, a truly populist, true leader, a true executive to come in and clear out the corruption. The super PACs. Okay, the Citizens United super PACs, the hundreds of millions of dollars, the money that pours in from AIPAC in Adelson and Silicon Valley and Wall Street that captures the bureaucracy, that captures Congress, the government. This is why they're doing things that are good for capital but not good for labor. They're doing things like bringing in cheap labor from India, which is good from the firms that employ them, but it's not good for the Americans that need the jobs. And the same goes for the seats at the universities. The same goes for all the rest of it. MAGA was stage one in the booster rocket. This is stage two. We have to now graduate. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing disloyal. There's not a lack of continuity. People say you're not MAGA. True. I'm not MAGA anymore. I was MAGA, but I'm not anymore. I've moved beyond that. MAGA was sufficient for 2016, but it isn't anymore. Now we need something stronger. We need something more developed. We need something that is more sincere. We need America First. And I had people last year, friends of mine, tell me, you're being disloyal to Trump. No, you've got it wrong. Trump has been disloyal to us. What more do we owe this person? Seriously, how many of you got fired from your jobs, expelled from your school? How many of you got hit in the face, lost friends because you supported Trump? How many of you went to jail in the Capitol, lost a social media account? How much acrimony, how many problems has the Trump movement created in your life because you supported him? And how have we been repaid? Well, let's see. When BLM torched every city, Donald Trump let it happen because he thought it would be better for him in the election. Donald Trump was the father of the vaccine here during the Biden administration. We were disloyal to Trump? No. Trump was disloyal to us. He did not use greatagain.org to fill his administration with his voters. He filled it with Bush and Rubio alum. He filled his White House with GOP staffers who cut taxes for the corporations and moved the embassy for Israel. He gave Ukraine lethal aid. He let BLM destroy the cities. He let Pfizer invent the RNA vaccine. And you say that Trump is owed our allegiance? What more do we owe this guy? Then Trump is reelected in spite of it all. In spite of all of that cowardice and treachery, no wall, no mass deportations, we're still in Iraq. In spite of all that, he didn't even pardon his supporters that went to jail on his behalf, although he could have. In spite of all that, Trump is reelected while defending the vaccine and his legacy. And how does he repay it now? He immediately hires Sriram Krishnam, who wants to replace us with H-1Bs, John Ratcliffe at CIA, Mike Waltz as the National Security Advisor. He attacks Project 2025. Then he bombs Iran. Then he cuts the corporate taxes again, buries the Epstein files. Serves you right. You trusted Trump. You can't trust Trump. He's not loyal. I had friends of mine say, "You're not loyal to Trump. We're still trusting the plan. Mr. President, I support you." And these people have watched as Elon has stopped supporting him, as Tucker has stopped supporting him, as Candace Owens has stopped supporting him. And now Marjorie Greene has stopped supporting. I guess they're all traitors. I guess they were all wrong. And what does Trump even stand for anymore? I said this earlier in the week. Trump is not the be-all, end-all. We supported Trump because of what he represented. We didn't vote for Trump because he was an obnoxious boomer. We voted for Trump because he was going to put America first. He was going to end mass migration, end the foreign wars, end free trade. He was going to end the globalist corruption in the government. Now none of that is happening. We do not have a tariff schedule. There are more wars now than there were at the start of all this. He's in favor of, they want to bring in more legal immigrants than ever. They want to keep the illegals here. They haven't even started on the wall. And now MAGA is about covering up for Epstein and doing Israel's bidding. No, Trump betrayed us. And that's, in some sense, it's not okay that he did it, but we will be okay. I'm in the Groyper War. And it was very similar. April 2019, I do the debate with Trainwrecks, Hassan Piker, and Sargon of Akkad. It's the biggest stream I've ever been on. I win the debate. The next day on my show, I have thousands of people watching for the first time. April 2019 was my breakout. Trainwrecks hosted a debate. Me, Hassan, Sargon, Destiny. It's 25,000 people watching, which was a huge deal at the time. Next day on my show, I have like 2,000 live viewers. First time I've ever had thousands of people watching. I'm on this upward trajectory. It culminates in the Groyper War. My followers are at turning point, chasing Charlie Kirk, asking him, why do you support Israel? Why do you support immigration? Why do you support gay marriage? This like rising action. Then the Groypers confront Don Jr., and it's like national news. And for the first time, people say, who is Nick Fuentes? Then I do a stream with Catboy Cammy, formerly known as Lolly Socks, and he's like a national socialist. He's like a white nationalist, pro-Hitler live streamer, but he does the anime thing as a joke. He's like, his name was Lolly Socks, then it was Catboy Cammy. It's like, so he was like an anime edgelord, like weeaboo 4chan guy. We do a stream, and then they turn into this narrative that it was like a date. That's like and so this happens every time. It's like every time I make an impact, Boom. Then it's like a smear and censorship. 3 months later, I got banned on YouTube. Groyper War, they create this like dossier on me. I'm a Holocaust denier. I'm a racist. Catboy Cammy, humiliation ritual. Then I get banned on YouTube in February 2020. Same thing happened after January 6th. You know, the show is huge. I'm at Stop the Steal. Then oh, I'm a Fed. And they banned me on Facebook, Instagram, D Live. Like, so I'm expecting they're going to ban me from Twitter soon. I hope that doesn't happen. Knock on wood. I don't want to put that into the ether, but it's like the smear is in full force like it always has been. The smear has come back. I've been smeared all week. You're hearing all the same shit. Oh, he said he wants to kill all Jews. Not true. He's a neo-Nazi. He wants to rape women. Not true. And now I think then, so the smear has happened. And then now I think the next step is, it's like I talked about earlier, they want to buy Twitter to ban me. Oh, it's a little disheartening, but yeah, I mean, we'll keep fighting. But, and you know, knock on wood, I hope that doesn't happen. But I've been saying this for months. We're reaching the high water mark. They're going to shut it down. And I think the Tucker thing was maybe, I couldn't turn it down, but naturally it created so much attention that they had to bring out all the bullshit. The show where I'm attacking Trump in high school, like all the usual crap. And then the next shoe to drop is going to be the censorship. So they're already calling for it. They're firing people from their jobs. Like, and that's already in motion. Dasha's getting dropped. Tucker's losing his sponsors. Heritage is blowing up. They're hunting the Groypers everywhere, trying to get him fired. So, yeah. But I appreciate the big super chat. That's why we got to keep Cozy TV alive. That's why we got to keep paying for the bandwidth. In order to be a part of the Trump movement and a part of MAGA, you have to support foreign aid to Israel. You have to be in favor of Trump's cover-up of the Epstein files. That's apparently now what MAGA means. MAGA used to mean three things. It meant no free trade, no foreign wars, no mass migration. That's what MAGA used to mean. And if you weren't on board with those things, you were out. And consequently, most of the GOP was out, and the Israel lobby was out. That's why Trump was criticized Sheldon Adelson in 2015, and AIPAC, and the Israel lobby. Look up the tape, December 2015. Google Trump, Rubio, Adelson. It's all there. Anybody that was in favor of mass migration, foreign wars like Iraq, or free trade was out of MAGA. MAGA was smaller in DC, but it was bigger in America. That's the movement that had the mass following. That's the MAGA that people supported. Now, it's a precondition that you're in favor of covering up for an Israeli sex trafficking asset, and you're in favor of sending taxpayer money to Israel while we suspend foreign aid for every other country while we're running a $2 trillion deficit on top of a $38 trillion debt. That's now apparently what MAGA means, according to Trump. And, you know, look, I hate to say it, but I told you so. This is why I jumped off the Trump train last year. And I will say it every single day. I don't care if you're sick of hearing it. I told you so.
No, it's just facts. You know, Trump was, I mean, he promised the Epstein files, you know, and then even during his first term, you know, he was America first, you know, and then we, like I said, we just seen in this second term, I mean, everything just went to shit, if I'm going to be honest, you know, I mean, everything, I mean, from the terrorists, we've gone to more wars again, like Ukraine and Russia are still going on, we still haven't finished that war, and he claimed that he was going to get it resolved. Israel and Palestine, yeah, they agreed to, Gaza agreed to a ceasefire, but they're still gonna do whatever they want, you know. So I mean, it's just BS, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, you know. You can't. I think it's bigger than Republicans and Democrats at that point, bro. It's bigger than that, you know. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like this video, subscribe, like, comment down below your thoughts on the video. Helps me out, helps the channel out, you know. Next live Monday through Friday on Rumble. I'll link it down below in the description. Everyone have a good one. And this is pre-record out.